don't like clean dishes. I bet you guys are wondering what this video is going to be all about. Hold on a second. I'm going to let those dry for a little while out here in this beautiful sunny Florida day. Give you a little look around real quick. And then I think I got some explaining to do. What a sight for sore eyes. Hi. Hi, all of YouTube. Remember me, Jeremy, Utopians bus? It's nice to see you again. It's been quite some time. I'm gonna try to do this in a concise way. I don't know, it's been, what, 2 years, I think? 2 years since I've uploaded to this channel, and for good reason. This may be a little depressing. I'll try not to make it so depressing, but I would say 2021 for a lot of people was a really tough year, and I guess I'll just start from the beginning. So yeah, I stopped working on the bus probably about 2 years ago. Obviously, I'm sitting right in front of the bus, and I've been living in it for about a year now, a little more than a year, and I'll show you inside eventually, but it's a mess right now. Doing dishes, I had to do a bunch of laundry, staying busy. Life is good, all things considered. So I would say it started like this. We sold our house, we bought the bus, I worked on it for about 2 years. We thought it would take about 6 months, but that was a mistake thinking like that. I don't know all you people out there who are either in your buses, finished and traveling, or have built a bus or a van or converted anything. Ours is, 40 foot, so it's pretty big, and it's a lot of work. And if you've been a fan of this channel for a while, you will see all of the work that I put into this thing, and it's not for nothing. But things happen, life changes, people change directions. It's hard to really put my finger on what exactly happened without getting too personal. But back in April of 2021, my mom died, and it was a horrible thing and extremely sad. I was living with my other half, Karen, and her parents after we sold our house, and that's when I was doing some of this work to the bus. I had the bus on another property. When I got back from Sarasota, I was working with this gentleman, Floyd, who helped with a lot of the stuff. You can go back and look at some of those videos. But I got the electrical done and the plumbing, and then I brought it back to Sebring kind of in a hurry in Central Florida here, and did a little bit more work to it, put a propane tank underneath. Yeah, a few other things. I ended up bringing the oven and our refrigerator, and that's installed in there. If you look back there, there's a little window air unit over the bedroom spot, and yeah. So anyway, going back to my bit of a depressing story. Knock on wood, I'm happy to be alive right now. So April 2021, living with the in-laws and my girlfriend of a long-term relationship. We've been together about 11 years. My mother died in April 2021, and it was kind of a shock and unexpected, but things happen. And yeah, it really hit me hard because I lost my father back in 2012. That's now a little over 10 years, and that was hard enough. My mother was living out in Las Vegas, and she made some poor life choices, unfortunately, and passed away unexpectedly. And it hit me really hard. Uh, and then I was supposed to go out to California. My family out there, they have a little bit of money and were nice enough to extend an invitation to my girlfriend and myself to attend my mother's memorial. Well, this was at the beginning of the pandemic, and there was a lot of fear in the air and everything like that. And without getting banned from YouTube, it's another ironic thing right there. Um, I had my reservations about everything that was going on at the time, and I was in a hurry to try to get the bus finished, but still, we ran out of budget. We had a budget set aside to do the build of the bus, and we ran through it. And then my other half, she was out of work for a year. She walked away and resigned. And our intention was to finish this thing and be on the road and get off the grid and full-time adventure and travel. Well, when my mother died, and I was supposed to go to her memorial, my uncle, I won't say any names or anything, at the very last minute said, okay, well, yeah, you guys are going to come out to California. I'll pay for your tickets and everything to get out here to her memorial and everything. And we were very thankful. And then at the last minute, he sprung on us, well, if you don't get the vaccine, you can't attend. You gotta, come with her and be fully vaccinated and bring proof. And I said, well, I guess I'm not going. And in a nice way to say it, go take a hike. Yeah, I have some pretty strong principles about some things, and when that happened, I had to sort of cut ties with my family out there, and it was very sad to go through that. But I have my reservations, and they were strong ones, and I still have yet to do anything like that and follow the narrative that is taking place. So I missed her memorial, and I still have yet to fully get closure and get her leftover things that were saved for me from my sister. I'll eventually get that and sit with her things and actually, go through those hard things that come with grieving. But I think of her every day. I think of my father all the time, and so I didn't go to her memorial, and that's okay. The night that I was supposed to fly out, that we were supposed to fly out and go to her memorial, or at least the night that we had planned to do that, I needed to get out of the house and blow some steam. So I went to visit some friends of mine here in town and play a little friendly game of poker and just get out of my head, because it was bothering me that we could have been going, but we weren't. So my little Suzuki Samurai, I don't know if you remember that, I'm driving. It had rained pretty hard, and the roads were a little slick, and I came around a corner a little too fast on the way to see my friends. Started to slide sideways, tried to correct it, turned my wheels the opposite direction, kept sliding. Ended up running into the curb at about 40 miles an hour, maybe 7 miles over the speed limit. I was probably going a little too fast, and I don't know what I was thinking, but I hit the curb and rolled my Suzuki Samurai over about 3 to 4 times. Right before the vehicle came to a stop, I saw a big telephone pole there, and I had a moment with God and said, please no, not now. And I was saved. So the vehicle came to a rest on its side. All the windows were smashed out. The tin top roof was caved in, and I looked at my arms and stuff. I've got a pretty bad scar right there. I don't know if you can see that. And finger, I've got some scarring right here. And so the vehicle came to a rest. I was wearing my seatbelt, luckily, and I still had all my arms and legs. I was bleeding and had glass embedded in my skin and everything. And I peer through the windshield and see that the engine had caught fire. It's a carbureted engine, and it was the middle of the night. And I said to myself, I better get out of here right now in case this thing explodes. So I hobble out of the car somehow, pulled myself out of there, hobbled over the other side of the road. Some neighbors that saw or didn't see what happened, but saw, that I had gotten an accident. I'm sure they heard the noise. Came over with a fire extinguisher and put the fire out. My friend just happened to be driving by. He saw me. He was like, "Jeremy?" I said, "Yeah, I just rolled the Zook." He was like, "Yeah, I could see that. I'm glad you're alive." Gave me a big hug. And sat there and waited for the paramedics to show up because I was a little bit woozy and dizzy and very sore in my back and everything, and in my neck. And my girlfriend came, and I was in tears because that vehicle, was supposed to be pulled behind this bus. It was a great little off-road vehicle, and I destroyed it. And the town that I live in here, they don't have a very good trauma unit in their hospital. So, I ended up going to the hospital in an ambulance and left my girlfriend with the vehicle to have it towed away. I wanted to hang on to it because it's a rare vehicle, and I thought maybe what's the point of junking it if I can do something about this travesty later. So I ended up going to the hospital, and long story short, they did 4 CAT scans, my neck, my back, stomach, all the important areas to make sure I had no internal bleeding or anything like that. And they came back with the results, and they said, "You're lucky to be alive, and you're lucky to be moving right now. You've got a fractured C7 vertebrae in your neck." So I ended up breaking my neck, but still able to move, so there was no spinal cord damage. They said, "Okay, well, now that we know this, we're going to ship you off to Tampa, and you're going to take a 2+ hour ambulance ride there and see a neurologist and see if they want to do surgery or anything like that." I was in the hospital for 3 days there. They didn't really do much except send me home with a neck brace. And I had to wear a neck brace 24/7 for pretty much the maximum amount of time they recommend that, and do follow-ups through video chats with the neurologist. And basically, healed up for the most part after 3 months in a neck brace, 24 hours a day, and it was very gruesome and very uncomfortable. Taking a shower with that thing and trying to function. You can't even imagine how many muscles in your neck you use until you do something like that, and you have no use of it. And it was pretty scary to deal with that. So, again, crazy fluke. I was saved. I was injured. I'd never really broken any bones in my body my entire life, and then here I go breaking my neck. The vehicle was destroyed. I still had my little, Volkswagen in the backyard. I was trying to sell it for a long time, and luckily I didn't have any good offers and had that vehicle still. So I ended up trading what was left of the Suzuki to what I thought was a friend of mine to do some work to it, and or to actually, just take over the title and get my Volkswagen back on the road. So I had some transportation. I was out of work, out of transportation, and it was a hard process pulling myself back up and trying to get back on the horse. And then the tragedy, the trauma, the travesty just kept on somehow. It just wasn't a good year. So about a month after I was, healed up and told I could remove the neck brace, I got into a little squabble with my in-laws, and ended up kicking myself out of the house and leaving my girlfriend behind. was practically homeless. I went and stayed with a friend of mine, and I don't know, I guess 6 months into, no, maybe less. I don't remember about how long. A few months into the stay with him and his girlfriend, I ended up contracting COVID really bad after his daughter came to for a weekend, bi-weekly visitations, custody or whatever, and she brought it with her and left it in the bedroom that I was sleeping in. And I returned after a little bit of a break away from there and ended up getting it really bad, and to the point where I couldn't breathe, I couldn't smell, I couldn't taste anything. Cold sweats, fever, chills, you name it. And then somebody reached out to me in the community I'm in on Facebook and through Messenger, and said, I heard you had this real bad and that you're having trouble breathing. Do yourself a favor and go get specific items from your local health food store, including a bunch of really good immune support vitamins and supplements and stuff to nebulize. Very alternative, non-traditional type of care, holistic healing. And she was a holistic practitioner. Never met the woman in my life, but we just happened to be friends, and she felt like she should reach out and help me out with this. So 11 days of struggling and drinking tonic water and taking these supplements and nebulizing pretty much on the hour, every hour, some alternative things. I was feeling better and I could breathe again, and after going through some major struggles with that, I tested negative and felt really good about it. And I published on Facebook photos and video of the supplements I was taking and my nebulizing treatment and chugging tonic water and stuff like that. And lo and behold, 2 days later, permanent deactivation to my account, which included my photography page, my business page with over 1,000 followers. I got a lot of work from that page and all that content, my Facebook account of 12 years. And yeah, that was very disheartening. I had to start over from scratch. And I don't know what's up with the world and why they want to, tell you what to say and think and do. And I'm just not, I just don't vibe with that. So, after testing negative for that, ended up giving it to my roommates, the people I was staying with, and butt heads with them a little bit. And then I was pretty much looking at being on the streets, and my girlfriend said, well, why don't you live in the bus? So that's what I did. I got into the bus. It was on our friend's property, and I was just roughing it in there for a while at his property, and then had a falling out with him. It was not a very accommodating experience, and the bus was off leveled, and I was being expected to do a bunch of yard work and other stuff, and I was paying him lot rent to be there and to store the bus. It was cheap enough, but a lot was expected out of me, and I was just trying to get back to work and get back on my feet. And in the time that I was going through that whole transition, my girlfriend and I, we were having a spat, and we ended up considering separation. And we're still technically separated, but we've been working on it. We have a long history together and lots of love for each other, and we started this dream together, and there's no reason why we can't continue it, but we need to work on ourselves. Obviously, I had a lot of shortcomings and made a lot of excuses why this bus didn't get finished when it did, why we ran out of money. And it is what it is. Life happens and things happen, and sometimes the obstacles are bigger than life itself, and you get through it. So I'm grateful to be, to have this opportunity to live in the bus and continue working on this dream of mine. And maybe one day we'll see things in a more aligned way, and we can get back to a life together. But regardless of what happens with us, we're gonna try. I'm not giving up on this thing because this is my dream, first and foremost, and I really feel good about the future. And a lot of people say it, but I've been saved, and I'm still not a religious person, but I did have a little conversation with God that night, and ever since then, I've been having a lot of faith in what the potential is for my life, and what's possible. And so the bus was parked at this friend of mine's house, and we ended up butting heads, and I needed to move the bus really quick. And where am I going to park a 40-foot school bus? I just can't park on the side of the road. And where am I going to work on it? So I ended up just synchronicity, I guess, took over, and I kept a positive attitude, and I met some amazing people who lived kind of close by, away from the city. You can hear the traffic in the background because we're right up near the highway. But I am living now in this place. I'm going to show you right now. So here's the bus, parked in a really nice spot. There's my car. Here's Vince. It's my buddy Vince. I was just doing dishes back here. I'm already living the dream without even really, thinking about what the dream was. I always wanted to travel and go off grid and, find a little slice of heaven somewhere and create a homestead, start over from scratch, grow a bunch of food, and basically sustain myself. Well, I'm already living that dream, and I've been here for almost a year, I would say, maybe a little less. This is the greenhouse where I'm growing things from seed and from some cuttings and things like that, and there's so much stuff growing here. This is a 5-acre hobby farm. It's not commercial. We do sell produce here, and we have quite a big customer base, mostly Filipino, but from all walks of life. These are pink guava saplings that I started from seed. And we're growing a ton of food here. And when I say a ton of food, I mean an actual, literal ton of food. It's fall now, getting into winter time, and we've just been planting away. We live here where the soil is very rich, and it's just so nice and so fertile. And the way we do that is with permaculture methods. And this is live mulch. We get this dropped off from tree services, and if you dig down, you see how rich that soil is. We're basically creating soil here. We don't use any fertilizers or pesticides other than a little bit of all-purpose fertilizer. There's some weeds, of course. You can always deal with weeds. That's all yucca. I've got some heirloom tomatoes growing over here. It's a very productive place. And, there's food for days. I get my steps in walking around here. We all planted this recently. These are long yard long beans. I got some 15 bean soup that I planted out of bags, the stuff you get in the store. Some purple yams, some old stuff that needs to come out, and some weeding that needs to be done. These are yard long beans. That's a well pump. Those are moringa trees. We had a hurricane here, Hurricane Ian, came and destroyed this place, but not really. Um, there's pineapples galore. This is a new row of beets that we started from seed. These rows are 220 foot long by 30 feet wide from one end to the other, with sprinklers going down the middle. These are carrots that are coming up nicely and sparingly. Some of the seed's not any good. Some pomelo trees that need to be weeded around. Pineapple is one of the main things that we grow here. I'd say there's probably about 4,000 to 5,000 pineapple trees. This is an avocado tree. It's starting to flower. There's more pineapples that we just planted recently. This is all turmeric, half a row of turmeric going all the way down that needs to be pulled at some point. I'll show you what that looks like when you pull some of it up. This is what, let me find a small one. Turmeric. Dig down. Oh man, that's turmeric. Good stuff. There's no shortage of food here. Papayas, avocado trees, the mangoes are starting to flower. You see the sprinkler running here. This is a pretty cool spot. There's all kinds of unique things growing here. Some of the rows aren't as established. Way over there near the road, there's some dragon fruit growing along the fence. More mango trees. This got hit pretty hard by the hurricane. This is a whole banana orchard. There's a big mulberry bush back there that I planted some cuttings successfully. This used to be a chicken coop, but it kind of took a hit. This is the coolest part of this farm though. 1,500 watts of solar panels right there, and that's a well pump. And it's all DC powered, direct current. And as long as there is sun in the sky, which no lack of that, we are able to draw from the well with enough pressure to water this entire farm. So that's pretty awesome. The well water is very clean. Some tomatoes that I need to ferment and save the seed from. Got a bunch of random little seedlings here and stuff. It just keeps going and going and going and going. We got some unique looking pumpkins that volunteered over here. We just planted a bunch of kale down that row. This is some of the pineapples. It's just, I mean, look at the size of this thing. Pretty awesome. And it just goes for days. There's a bunch of cilantro that came up, volunteered down there. We've been cleaning up little by little. There's jackfruit trees. There's longan fruit. These are all olive trees around here. If you look beyond this, there's a swimming pool. A bunch of really pretty orchids and all kinds of botanical stuff here. This is star fruit. This, I believe, is a sugar apple. It's another star fruit. A volunteer papaya. This star fruit tree is just loaded. And the way we do that is simply by using live mulch. It's a little bit sandier over here and not as watered, and creating soil. This is the bus in my car, and I have a full hookup. Well, it's 20 amp, a 20 amp box there. Clean running municipal water. We can drink the well water as well. There's even fruit trees and stuff next to the bus. It's a 5-acre farm, and I'm living the good life, mostly. There's still a little bit of suffering. This is what it used to be, my storage tent, but those Harbor Freight storage tents don't last that long, and it fell apart, so I covered everything up with tarps. There's some rotting wood and stuff down there, but you see the old bus panels that I gutted out a long time ago. And I hung on to a lot of stuff. I also have a huge storage unit with everything still in it that I haven't put in the bus yet. But basically, there is no lack of fruit or food. It's a little hummingbird feeder that I just got from my girlfriend and her mom for Christmas. Some banana trees. There's the pool house. And there's the main house. It's a small house. The owners, Vince and Angie, amazing people. And they took me in without much reserve. You know, they wanted to make sure I was okay as a person. Did a little bit of a background check and saw that I was trustworthy and everything. And after a couple conversations, came over here and sat in the pool house with the owner, Vince. And he says, "Welcome to the farm, Jeremy." So I gave him a big hug with open arms. And I can't have enough gratitude. I wake up here every day surrounded by food and Mother Nature, and I get to do what I love first and foremost, you know, being in nature and having some purpose in life. And yeah, gratitude goes a long way. I don't want to wear out my welcome or overstay my stay here. So I really need to get to work on this thing. And that will be coming in the next videos. I hope you all are well. It's good to see you again. And it's been too long. I want to get back to work on this thing and document it as I did before and try to be a little creative, as creative as possible while doing so. But you know how things go. You know, technology fails and stuff like that. I'm still doing photography. I have a couple of nice architectural interior remodeling shoots scheduled for this week. And other than that, I'm going to get on the roof and pressure clean that soot off of there. And maybe put a coat, at least one coat of Henry's Tropicool, because it is an oven in there during the summer and it is an ice box during the winter. It's still not insulated. But I am now with a king-size memory foam bed in there. Lots of room to stretch out. I've got the appliances hooked up. I'm able to cook and store my food without being in coolers. I was living out of coolers with filling up with ice every 2 days. And it just wasn't a lot of fun. So being here, it's a huge blessing on my head. And I don't want to give up. So if you can get anything from this long video, sorry about the length of it. I'm a wordy guy. At least the takeaway would be, you know, keep your head up, because it could always be worse. My mother, rest her soul, used to say to me, "I once thought I had problems until I met a man with no legs." So yeah. If there was one word to describe how I'm feeling, it would be humble. I'm very humbled by everything that has happened over the past couple of years. I'm very humbled to be living here in a place that's just amazing, and it's giving me the strength to carry on and continue through with this dream of mine. So, that being said, I will leave you with that. Create your own utopia. Start today. And I'll see you around.